Guy from work tried to undermine me, but I quit a week ago. This happened only a month ago, so the memory of the incident is fresh. I got accepted into college and had to quit my job of 2 years. I put up my resignation papers and had 2 months of notice period left. I had informed my manager and team, but didn't account for Mr.S, who was technically on my team but worked from the client offices overseas, so I don't get to see him ever. Background on Mr. S. He was hired as a mediator between the client and us, but had years of technical experience, so he often helped us out with the technical work, but was always a snob about it. He made sure to CC every possible manager in every mail to show that he was doing a lot more than his role was required to do. Everyone hated how commanding and rude he was. Most meetings with him were just the entire team listening to him which and moan for 20 minutes. He had no boundaries and would call up at odd hours of the night just to prove his point. He would promise clients certain results with unreasonable timelines without consulting the team, leading to late delivery and terrible client ratings. Since I had 2 months left to go at work, I wasn't quick to give up responsibilities and transfer knowledge to my colleagues. I handled an important client-facing task and I've been doing it for the 2 years I worked there. I never taught it to anyone else because it was a relatively easy task and it hasn't been screwed up in 2 years. We get info from the client that my task was undergoing major upgrades and needed to be done extra carefully and on priority for the next week. I know the drill and get to work as usual. Mr. S calls me up on Skype to re-emphasize the importance of the task this week. I just reply to him that I've been following all protocols every week and will continue the same as usual, being careful of the upgrades. He considers my answer as unprofessional and inconsiderate and proceeds to tell me how I'm not that important to the team and my job was easily replaceable. He then cut the call, and proceeded to reassign all my tasks for the next 2 months to someone else, while also formally emailing everybody that no new tasks were to be assigned to me. There I sat, maliciously complying, watching my teammates struggle to run my task, unable to help. I sat around doing nothing for the last 2 months of my job. Luckily, I was working from home, so that meant 2 months of paid leave.
Now to the comments. You could send him a thank you message for the 2 months of paid time off. How did you know I'm starting college this fall and put in 2 months notice to our boss? Thank you for paid time off present.
OP replied. He still hates me. The last time he came up to me for help was glorious, because I could see the defeat in his voice. I was the only one who knew how to do that task, and he had to cave in and ask me.
Maybe would have been worth it to remind him how he thought that you weren't that important to the team and your job was easily replaceable. Did he at least apologize? I guess not. People like him don't know or want to climb off the high horse they're on. After I left my last job, it was so satisfying to hear my phone ring constantly for the next few days. I let it all go to voicemail. Asshats, who were really unpleasant to work with, scrambling to get in touch. I had retired and didn't call back. Eat it.
Mom?
Husband's mom did this. Mike dropped the retirement papers out of the blue before a holiday weekend. State employee, took her supervisor 3 days to finally get the memo to F off and stop calling. The temptation to CC everyone involved and thank him for 2 paid months off would have been too great for me to pass up.
Do it indirectly. Tell the whole team a goodbye and thank the guy for lightening your workload this last 2 months.
Yeah, you have to let him know, otherwise he'll think you left because of him. So, he was an off-site supervisor? I'm so confused. Like, how would he have that authority but also he was out of the loop? Anyway, hope some of that shit made its way uphill to him and didn't only fall on your co-workers. Guy sounded like a total ass.
I have 8 different bosses, Bob.
Technically you also have a case for an improper layoff as well.
OP replied. I was leaving anyways. He wanted to sideline me from the project so I didn't get extended on the next work package, but he didn't account for me just leaving. He got his way, but gave me a mini vacation in the process.
Everybody wins. Except for your poor co-workers. I hope they know Mr. S is to blame for the extra stress, and good on you for keeping up the good work even after giving notice. Sounds like if this guy knew you were quitting, he'd have heaped extra work on you specifically.
Yeah, this just doesn't make sense. How did he think this was a punishment, who just pays an employee and stops giving them work?
OP replied. It was meant to be a power move to get me excluded from future work packages from the client. You're easily replaceable, go on, replace me. Here's my note of resignation. And then watch him struggle while you don't move a finger. Also very nice MC of ya. This is almost the right way to handle someone with specialized knowledge leaving. You not doing anything demonstrated exactly where the pain points were going to be when you left. I love how people think they are so important at work that they want to be a dick to everyone else. Congrats on your 2 months of doing nothing. Snakes. Slithering everywhere. It's best to watch out and tread with care. You're always wrong through their eyes. It's no wonder they're constantly despised. So, what better way for an eye than to sit back and maliciously comply?
Middle management culture in America is rife with these sociopaths. Some are seldom swayed by the subtle susurrations of certified serpents.
The IT department deals with pythons. Mr. S is a mediator? Sounds like a pretty shitty mediator. Awesome. What did you do with all that free time? Sometimes the best revenge is to do exactly what they tell you to do, with a smile. I've got good news and bad news. Good news is I found another job and I'm submitting my 2-week notice. Bad news is I should have told you 2 weeks ago. Peace. Good on you OP for not escalating, and just letting the windbag reap what he sowed. I feel like every office has that guy that just feels the need to lord over everyone, and doesn't really understand how to work as a team. Now have another employee tell a manager that you and Mr. S are buddies and he did that on purpose so you could chill for the remaining 2 months. Duck that guy. Karma coma haha. Mr. S sounds like he could use a visit from the Be Nice Fairy. Happy Cake Day, OP. Nicely done, and happy cake day. 2 months of notice period left. Wait, what? 2 months? I just quit a job and gave them a week and started my new job this Monday. I don't owe any employer more than that.
Depends what your contract says. I have a 3-month notice. If I decide to leave 1 week into that, they have every right to pursue me legally, the same as I would be able to pursue them if they told me to go after a week without paying me those 3 months.
The thing that sucks though is it sounds like your coworkers were the ones that ended up suffering from your MC, not that you're not at fault for it, of course. It's unfortunate that Mr. S wasn't put in a compromising situation due to his own arrogance. Oh, next year will be my turn in the same scenario. I got some special tasks assigned that I'm keen to teach but nobody wants to learn. My department will most likely burn a little when I go. I like the fact he called you unprofessional and inconsiderate, and was then instantly unprofessional and inconsiderate himself.